Hey guys, I want to show you a quick way to wear this makeup and the #1 way I recommend on starting to wear this makeup. It's called the Cheetah Hack. We're going to use our fingers. Make sure you have clean hands. There are some alternative ways to do this with a brush, so that is always an option too if you don't want to use your fingers. So I'm going to show you just with my fingers today. We're going to start with our contour first. So I'm tapping into my contour. So we're just going to place spots, aka Cheetah Hack, on the top of that forehead, temple to temple. Once we blend these in, they're gonna spread out and they're gonna meet that next dot, and we're gonna create that one single layer of makeup. So tapping back into my contour, I'm going to put a couple at my cheekbone. You can just kind of do a smear here if you want. I'm going to put some on both sides of my nose. And then I'm going to run a little bit under my jaw. And that is it for the contour. Put another little dot here, another little dot here. So I'm going to go into my main highlight shade that is that color closest to your skin tone. Tapping in, these highlight shades are a little bit more soft than the contour, so keep that in mind. So one tap is going to go a lot farther than the contour. So tapping back in with my finger and putting dots at the bottom half of my face. We like to refer to this as your beard area. It's a great visual. So anywhere where you would grow a beard, that's where this color is going to go. This color also can go on any discoloration. So I like to put that on my nose, bottom half of my nose, right under the middle of my eye. You can just put brightener there, but if you have fine lines or you have dark circles, use your main highlight shade because that's going to give you the most coverage. So tapping into my brightener now. So that's all for your main highlight shade. So the bottom half of that face, middle of that forehead. Brightener is going to go outer and inner corner of eye. So just kind of placing some dots there. I do like to put this on my eyelid to create that base for my eyeshadow and kind of even out those discolored eyelids. Tapping back in, I put some of that between my eyebrows and a little bit above, and then a very little bit down the center of my nose. So that's it for all your colors. This is all their paint by number spots. I'm going to use my small side of my blush and bronzer brush. This is always a brush I recommend starting with. It's awesome for blending. It is a lighter coverage brush if you're tapping into your tins with your brush. But I definitely recommend don't start applying the makeup that way because you need to program your brain to know that this is thin makeup. This is not layering and layering and layering like we have done in the past. So we do not want to over apply. These creams are 80% pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way. So just kind of pushing that in with my brush. We're always going to start with our light colors first. And again, by pushing this in, it's spreading those dots out and they're meeting that next dot and they're becoming that single layer. And we also want to keep our colors where we're placing them. So that's another reason why for pushing versus swiping. I'm going to pull up on my contour, kind of go back with it. Our contours do have coverage as well. All of these colors have coverage. That's why we're not layering things too. So kind of blending that in. I like to kind of swirl it together on my forehead, just so you don't have any, got hair in my mouth, line of demarcation. Kind of pull it back towards your hairline. Okay, I'm gonna go back to this area, pushing that in. After you blend, if you need a little bit more coverage, you can always go back and add more. Let's use my finger here. A lot of times I do my nose contour last because I tend to kind of blend it off and then I end up having to redo it anyway. So just kind of bouncing this off my nose and spreading that out. So this makeup is going to give you a nice, natural, dimensional makeup. So just keep blending until it's all blended in. If you've over blended, you can always go back and add more. Okay, so everything's blended. And then I'm gonna add some blush and some bronzer, and we're gonna do that the same way. I am gonna tap in with my brush a little bit and kind of go over the tip of my nose. I have a lot of redness there, so there's always an option. Anytime you're using a brush and you're tapping in, it is like 1 to 2 taps, super light-handed, because the brushes do pick up a lot of pigment. So I'm tapping into my Bella bronzer, just with my finger. I'm gonna put some of that on the high points on my face. There we go. And a little bit on my forehead. I'm gonna tap into some blush. So I'm gonna use a little bit of Frenchie today. That is a peachy color, kind of neutral. If you have redness in your cheeks, which today my cheeks are kind of red, it's gonna help kind of tone those down, but also give you some color. So I'm gonna use the fluffy side of my blush and bronzer brush. Just kind of blend that in. It's gonna warm up your skin tone. Awesome for adjusting your skin tone as the season changes, or just if you like to look a little bit more bronzy. So I will recommend a bronzer for everybody. It's a good tool to have in your palette. I am gonna run a little bit more brightener down the center of my nose. So if that's gotten lost, just touch a little bit. And then again, just kind of blend that in. I'm gonna put something on my lips. I'm gonna put a little Lash Sand. It's a gloss. I like to mix a gloss with a satin shade. So depending on what kind of lips you like, some people love gloss, some people like matte. I like kind of a little bit in between. So put a little bit of nude over top of that. It's gonna help kind of tone down the gloss, but still give that movable feel. So Cheetah Hack, like I said, is this #1 way to wear this makeup. You're not going to over apply if you just dot it on. You're spreading it out and creating that single layer of makeup. Have a good day. Bye.